You're listening to Through the Trapdoor with the Malthusian Trap. The three of us locked in a room, making music and chatting shit.
In writing music, the composer uses the voices of a musical group to say something to those who listen. Music is a kind of language. The better you understand musical language, the more you will appreciate what the composer is trying to say. The musicians, like actors or interpreters, bring to life the notes the composer has set down on the written page.
Hello and welcome to Through the Trapdoor podcast with us, the Malthusian Trap.
What up?
How's
Hello,
it going?
everybody.
How's it
What up,
going?
G's? I got some guy on a scooter razzing it past the window. West side, bro.
What, in fucking Leafy?
In Leafy Brixton. West side, my brethren. Yeah, drop my bag on the doorstep, yeah? Social distance.
Not bad.
How's it going?
Social distance bag drops. Distance.
Distance. You get me. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Another Monday night, innit? Thought we'd recap what we done yesterday for everyone, because we shot the music video for the new tune yesterday, innit?
Oh yeah,
So,
we did.
We got, obviously, I've been asking people to send in all their footage of the lockdown that we just had. Yesterday we shot our footage. Basically consisted of wearing gas masks in the middle of nowhere and
Yeah.
me and my boxer
Not a lot
shorts.
else. Wearing not a lot else for Damon, but yeah. It was good fun.
Just
His walnut whip sticking out.
I've seen some footage before, you know what, and I definitely should have put a sock down there, you know.
Oh, it's cold. It
Definitely.
was cold.
It's probably the warmest day of the year, isn't it?
A grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm used to hotter, innit? So yeah, we did that yesterday. So we're a bit worse for wear today. I don't know about yous, but I'm knackered, innit? So we're a bit sort of we're a bit unsure as to what to do, weren't we? So we just cobbled a show together. So did we keep 2 meters apart? JP Rimbo. We're not doing social distancing to that degree where it's 2 meters. We work in purple ackies, so we were 2 purple ackies apart at all times. I think we did social
It's actually
distance.
right. But I was thinking about that when we were standing round. We actually don't exactly get close to each other on a regular
Social distancing's easy
anyway.
for us.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Like you stand by your car, Coxie stands by his,
I
and
know,
I'll
that's
stand
what I mean.
somewhere in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When
Living
we're
in the
outside.
studio.
Yeah, I'll sit on the sofa.
Yeah.
Damon.
It's just when you're like drinking out of like cups and you get the wrong cup and then everyone gets the same flu in it or something. You know what I mean? Or the same cold.
We don't drink out the
But,
same
yeah,
mugs.
social
What are you
distancing,
talking
we don't.
about?
Oh, no.
No,
Like
by accident.
two-
That's what I'm saying. You know what I
two
mean? If you're
birds,
like-
one cup.
yeah. No, that's where by accident you might do it if you forget who had what cup. Do you know what I mean? Or the waters or whatever. But no, 2 purple ackies apart at all times. But yeah, the other thing as well is that I think I got an email today from the merchandise people saying that's about a mile then. Only in arms, do you know what I mean? Only in biceps. The merch, the t-shirts, because I know some of you have ordered t-shirts, that should start to go out hopefully this week, so look out for that. And if you've not bought one, we'll put a link in the description later.
Yeah.
You go and buy one. Some of the proceeds go to us, plus they look top, and yeah, you're a dickhead if you don't buy one.
Gone for the hard sell there. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
You're a
know
dick
to
if you
sell
don't
it
buy
home,
one.
innit?
That fucking
When you're in the house and you got the double glazing, when you got them on the end, you just say to them, You got to buy these because if you
Safe
don't, you're a dick.
Yeah, like guys, Safe directed it. They say you buy one, you get one free, and if you don't, you're a dickhead. We thought we'd talk about music tonight because we are a band and we keep talking about conspiracy theories and UFOs and ghosts and weird shit and fucking murders and fucking all sorts of stuff. So we thought we'd talk about music. So we was just chatting yesterday about what it's like being a musician today versus what it might have been like in the past. Because obviously we're old enough to remember the age before everything went like digital essentially. So we thought we'd explore some of those things. Godfrey got a t-shirt,
Nice one.
so yeah, big up Godfrey.
Cheers, Paul.
I've got some. Would have got two. Yeah, I said I'd sort that for you this week, Godfrey. I'll sort a ladies' tea in black. Yeah, we'll start with the viewers' questions. Yeah, so the first one says, this came from Facebook. It's from a new listener. I haven't got his name written down because I'm fucking shit tonight. So, on your music, are classic bands like the Beatles, the Who, the Rolling Stones more influential, or more modern bands like Oasis, the Stone Roses, the Verve? Also, what's our reasoning why?
That question's from
basically?
Greg Black.
Well,
I went to school with him.
Greg Black.
All
All right, Greg.
Well, the first one is all the bands that you mentioned in the first list are the old ones. I'm going to be honest, I only like the Beatles, particularly. I like the others,
Yeah.
but I can't listen to the Rolling Stones, I've got to be honest with you. They've got a couple of great tunes, but as far as artists go, they were just like a bit
Especially
of
Oasis.
merchants, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean the
Yeah,
Rolling Stones?
the
I
modern-
always think
more
of them
modern
as like
band.
a covers band,
aren't
especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them, but
they?
Yeah.
and I love the Beatles. Like,
Yeah.
probably the best band in my opinion of all time. But
So
we don't write that kind of music. I suppose they do influence us because
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
definitely.
Listen to a minute, like quite a lot.
and
Like,
direct
so
influences. I mean,
they must have had an influence
the
somewhere.
soundscapey side of the Beatles, I think, kind of does inspire us a little bit as well because we're moving more into like electronic music and using scapey kind of, particularly with the new one we're going to release, which is like it's more of a dance tune anyway. Do you know what I mean? So maybe in that side of things,
Yeah.
they do have a
Yeah.
direct influence on us. But bands like the Verve, I loved them when I was younger, and Oasis as well when I was a kid. I loved them, but I
Yeah.
just can't stand it now. Yeah, I cannot
They're
stand that
shit.
music personally. I think Noel Gallagher's a fucking bell end. We've been over Noel before on the podcast.
Yeah, we won't. We'll probably touch on them a little bit later. I think in a bit more depth, won't we? I don't know. It's an interesting one because the ones where it says the more modern bands are what I sort of term like not modern now. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
They're
know,
not modern,
like-
are they?
Nah, like the Stone Roses and that. Obviously, like I was brought up on Stone Roses and Happy Mondays and that kind of vibe from my dad. So that band music wise, they're what I'm into. But it's more about the era for me, like the acid house scene and the rave scene and everything, and then getting into like jungle and drum and bass. But I don't know if it's like, it's not like we sit down, is it, and dissect what bands are going to influence us. We might just hear something like, do you know what I mean? Like, and just go with it. What's the band that, oh, it's gone out of my head. I'll look it up. I can't remember the fucking.
All right,
name.
Herman.
All right, mate.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily a preference in there either. Like, do you think one's more preferential than the other in terms of whether the classic bands that are listed there and the modern bands have any more or less influence?
I would think the old bands do, because we aren't really a fan of that Britpop scene. Well, I mean, we are and we aren't. Well,
Yeah.
I'm speaking from my my perspective anyway, I like those bands. Like, there's still the odd Oasis tune that I would listen to, but they're not really I don't want to write music like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no Beatles song that I'd sit down and go, I'd love to write a song like that. But artists like Bowie, that's different because he's got such a varied career. Do you know what I mean? And artists like,
Bowie's a good
Prince,
example, man.
that kind of artist is more seminal anyway. So it's like, I suppose they directly and indirectly influence individual tunes, but it's not like you say. We don't sit down and go, we're going to write a Beatles tune or we're going to write a whatever tune.
Yeah. Might get a vibe off something. Like, I was thinking of the band. I was thinking of Talking Heads, and like sometimes we'll like get something like that on and just be like, oh, we like a snippet of this. And I suppose as well, we don't really pigeonhole ourselves. Like, I think a trap that some bands come into are just like, right, we're going to be like this band, we're going to be like the Verve, and all our tunes are going to sound like that. Like, I don't think we know what's going to come out of our fucking mouths or out of the guitars when we fucking write a tune, and that's what, in my opinion anyway, I think that's what makes us interesting in it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because fucking every tune could be different. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Let's face it as well. We've been influenced more recently by newer bands, like completely new bands or newer music anyway, like Sheep Tick by what they called Young Knives. We've been listening to stuff like that recently and taking inspiration from that, haven't we? So
yeah,
I would say we are influenced by new music, but not those big iconic bands of the 90s.
I think that's a fucking great
I do
tune,
as well.
man. Me that
but like
Knives,
Working Men's Club as well.
Yeah, it was. I was listening to it again.
And the whole mix to it, and the cutting up how it's sectioned,
and the weirdness of it.
Do you know what I mean?
I would. I definitely would.
I would. Yeah. Sounds really good, man.
Next question. This is coming from Godfrey, who bought a T-shirt. Big up to Godfrey. What happened to the rock star? And he says this is his quotes. I'm talking about the hotel room trashing, heavy drug usage, groupies, that kind of rock star. Where's all that gone?
Hashtag me too. That's what happened.
Yeah.
No.
It's not the done thing. No one's allowed to do. You're not allowed to do anything nowadays. If it's frowned upon in any way, it's fucking a no-no. It could ruin you. If you do anything wrong now, everyone's just scared that they'll get fucking blasted in the rags, innit?
I don't think the Me Too thing's what's killed it. It's been dead for a long time. I mean, look at fucking Kaiser Chiefs. He's hardly going to come and headbutt you for slagging him off, is he? Do you know what I mean? It's just like these kind of bands that are coming out are just...
Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're gone, because the last bit of ruckus I heard was Geezer from Sabbath, isn't it? Geezer, the bassist at Sabbath. He was in LA and he kicked off in a restaurant and got arrested for having a ruckus with some guy who fucking pissed him off in the in the restaurant, like a well-to-do restaurant. And I was like, yeah, go on, that's quality, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Huh?
You're not going to get.
I don't know. I think it became cliche, didn't it? And then I think as music moved on, rock stars and whatnot, like rock music itself, kind of it wasn't the thing anymore, was it? It became electronic music and stuff like that. So DJs are more like...
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. But throughout history, the artist, whether that be an artist who paints or musicians, have had a history of being off the cuff, a bit fucking on the edge, a bit mad. Do you know what I mean? Where are they?
I know what you're saying, but I think I think that rock star...
I mean, but nowadays you can't fucking do anything. Even if you act a bit fucking weird, people are like, it's like, fucking get over it. And what people think's weird nowadays, it's like,
I was just about to say that.
That ain't weird.
When Arctic Monkeys went up on the Brits and he dropped a microphone and said something, it's like, oh man, that's so rock and roll. It's just like, nah, mate, that's just fucking nothing. It's not fucking EMF or whatever, fucking throwing a dead sheep at someone. It was EMF, wasn't it? KLF, that's it. Yeah.
Or fucking Rage Against the... Was it Rage Against the Machine climbing up on the MTV Awards in America?
Do something.
They wouldn't get down. They was like that. We're fucking cut down. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to get on with the show, and they're like, "Fuck that, we're stopping up here."
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I mean, man. That's where it's, I think I think that's like people like that Slow Tie have got a bit of that in them now. Just seems to have like there's only like one or two of them that have got a bit. You know what I mean? You could tell like they could have a bit if they wanted to, a bit of controversy, but it just gets watered down. It's just like we're probably gonna slag quite a lot of bands off tonight, innit? Just by proxy. But I remember seeing Wolf Alice on Glastonbury, and they started like smashing up some of their equipment. And it just, to me, when I was watching it, it looked like rock and roll by numbers. It was like, this is the bit where I'm going to smash my equipment up. And it just looked forced. It looked like a gimmick, like it was a stage routine. And I'm just not into that kind of shit, you know? It's just fucking, I don't know. You're not going to get the characters anymore, man. They're long gone. That's what I think. They're fucking dead. It's like what you just said as well. I mean, look at the issue that we have, in the local fucking scene where we are. We're not very well liked, I don't think, because we're outspoken and we don't fit the mold of being like fucking long hair and fucking skinny jeans and going on like demonstrations with people and all that kind of shit, do you know what I mean? Or playing acoustic guitars. And it's just, that's what it's turned into, isn't it? It's just like, I remember we got into some spat with someone and someone said like, why are you talking like this? It's not like you're famous. I was like, it's called having a personality, having a fucking opinion, mate. It's got nothing to do with whether or not you fucking think you're famous.
I know.
So I think those days are gone, aren't they?
I think it's a matter of toeing the line, isn't it? Like what you say about Slow Tie, I didn't think they let him really do what he wants to do. He got pissed, didn't he, at the Brits or something, and said like slagged somebody off, and everyone went up in arms for like 5 minutes, and then they realised like he's the big thing at the minute, so let's stop talking shit about him.
I don't know. I didn't realise they were fucking doing any fucking kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't naughty.
Stuff.
He got pissed up.
I think he's got a bit of an energy about him. Do you know what I mean? It's like you could tell. I reckon something had come. You know, he'd have got a bit of character about him, I think. But the other thing is as well, I was chatting to a mate a while ago who they were like talking to some record label with his old band, and they went through his social media and they're like, you've got to delete this and all that because it just doesn't look good. You just look like you're going to be a problem to the people and all this, and it's just the point. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to become a fucking walking advert for fucking Disney.
You think like some artists have made their career off it? You look at Johnny Rotten. He's only famous because he told Matey to fuck off on live TV. Exactly, he sells butter now. But back in the day, he was only really famous for the Sex Pistols, and that was over so quickly that I think he was only really remembered for telling the news presenters to fuck off live on TV. And he's made a career out of that. He goes on TV and just is a knob to like journalists. Some people love it. What do you
think to him?
I like his music. I like Pill, but I think he's boring. It's like he's always going to say something contrarian just for the sake of it. Sometimes he's
Did you? Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, sorry, I just carry on.
Well, I was just going to say he's just so predictable, so boring. But yeah, go on.
Fucking I'm just reading. Sorry, Herman Singh saying F-bombs galore, and I just thought I'd say it fucking then. But anyway, I saw. Did you see him in that kind of interview thing where they had him and a few other old punk stars in like a row, and they was just interviewing him, and he was just like purposely fucking being a twat. Do you know what I mean? Like
the gloves are off, but for punks.
Yeah, and he was just slagging like everyone off.
He's just saying like, you're not punk, and it's like, who cares? Who cares? Who fucking cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a knob, isn't it? But
I think he's alright, but he's just I like his music.
You go on about people not having an attitude, a say. There's someone, and now you like, I don't like him.
I did say I have to like everyone who's that opinionated. I just think he just strikes me as a bit of a knob. Never really got into the Sex Pistols either.
No, it's going against the
Pill's a different class.
Everyone toes the line, don't they? I mean, John Lennon didn't toe the line, and I'm not saying he used to go out fucking being like a punk or anything like. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of attitude, but he was almost. He used to be like, that's the way he looks at the world. That's what he thinks. And if people don't like it, they can go fuck themselves. You ain't going to toe no line. Do you know what I mean?
I think he embodied that spirit more than what you would call a punk these days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's less. I mean, punk's just become such a fucking political badge. It's not even like.
Yeah.
It's not even worth being. It's not a movement or anything, is it? It's like.
No, it's not worth the paper punks be written on.
No.
Is it really?
They're all a cliche of themselves, those punks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well, it happens, doesn't it? I think we got a question a bit like that in a minute. I'll do the next question. Yeah. Do you think today? This is from Blebby Blevington. Do you think today's music will mean as much in 20, 30, 40 years' time in the same way as music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s still gets interest today? That is a very good question.
I think unless it's in a film, which is like a cult film or something that's massive and is in a particularly important part of a scene or something, no. Because there's just so much new music coming out. There's Here Today, Gone Tomorrow bands more now than ever. And it's a shame, but it's just music's not made like that anymore. It's not made for that.
It's because a lot of music now isn't classically made, and I don't mean like classical. I mean like in the classical sense. If it's for the times, it sounds good at the time, but in fucking how many years' time, it sounds dated, doesn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? That it's the same with anything like films. When you make a modern film that's cut and made to look like modern as fuck within that time, in 10 years' time, it looks dated as fuck. Do you know what I mean? It's like anything, isn't it?
I mean,
like you take Pulp Fiction. I know it's a movie. It's a classic film, and that's like almost a modern film that will be a classic for fucking ever. To me.
I mean, it already is, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it already is. Yeah, because there's no. I don't know. It's not bland, but it's just like kind of flat on this. It's got the styling, and that's it. Do you know what I mean?
You normally can't tell at the time, can you? With stuff, and you think to yourself, that Oasis is a good example. And again, we'll talk about it more later. But you revisit some of those Oasis songs, like the albums, the ones that everyone always used to say, yeah, definitely, maybe that's the only one that's a classic. And I listened to it recently, and it isn't. It doesn't stand the test of time, in my opinion. Yeah. But I think if a lot of people listen to that album, it really isn't as good as what people made it out to be at all. I think that's the standard. That's the stand of music, innit? It's like you get out of it, and then you listen to something, you revisit something. It's like, yeah, that definitely does stand the test of time. And it's not just about the music either. It's about what it represents. That has to be wrapped up in other things. And I just don't know if that's happening now.
People
talk about grime and all that, so maybe a couple of the grime things might, like, I don't know, like someone like Kano, he's had a couple of good albums, the last few albums, maybe to that generation, that might mean something to them in 10, 20 years' time. But on the whole, I can't think of any bands. I mean, what are people going to do? I mean, people probably listen, this is what's mad about it, people will probably listen to things like Coldplay and Muse in 10, 20 years' time and like think that was the shit. And that's what's sad about it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it comes down to how people consume music. I mean, back in the day, you used to buy records or buy CDs and tapes, and you listened to them over and over again because you paid a lot of money and it was your physical possession, and you really listened to them. But now it's all on your phone or whatever, or it's on Spotify. You know, if you like it, you might listen to it every now and then, or if it's on a playlist, it'll come up every now and then. But it's not like back in the day where you just put a record on just to put a record on. So and that's why records stand the test of time, because your passion will then pass it down, and people will be like, "That's a fucking great record because of this, this, and this." I just don't know if. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a teenager. Teenagers will be able to tell you if that's the way they get into music.
My daughter's listening to some Strokes at the minute.
They got a new record out, haven't they?
Yeah, but she's listening to the old stuff.
What's got her into that?
Well, fucking TikTok or some shit like that, isn't it? You know, well, she's got. We bought her the subscription for Spotify, so she can skip like fuck. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't skip your tunes on the free Spotify, can you? You only got 5 or whatever. So she's got unlimited Spotify listens, and she's found some new music, and I can't remember what tune. It's a bit of a quirky tune, one of them.
I mean, they
Sounds
were
alright,
quite a quirky band, though, weren't they? It was all
Yeah,
do 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 do, that kind of stuff.
yeah. It's like kind of laid back, this one tune. Anyway, I don't know it. Godfrey said about Madonna, it's like dubstep and new stuff, but Madonna's always done that, hasn't she? She's always got the most modern producers in and music makers to keep up with the times.
Yeah,
You know what I
She
mean?
used
'Cause
to
that's
work
the
with,
only-
what's that guy? Is it William Orbit?
Yeah,
And she had that album.
Ray of Light.
Yeah, that one. That was like a big
that was
thing
a
for her,
good
wasn't it?
tune, man. There was some
There's some good tunes on that album. To be
Yeah.
fair,
I
I
like the one
quite
she did with Ali G.
Frozen is a class. Got a wicked drum. Yeah, Frozen's got a wicked drum beat.
Is it Frozen or Poison?
I think it Frozen.
Frozen.
You're
Yeah, it's Frozen.
Frozen. Yeah. That's a great tune. That, and then she's got quite a good. There's some really good ones from back in the day, like Lucky Star. I always have a special place in my heart for that one.
Yeah, she works with some of the new mumble rappers as well, though. So she does try to keep herself in vogue, don't she?
Yeah, well, I see what you did there. Strike a pose.
No, but it's true though. She does try to do all that shit. So I suppose that's how she stays relevant, innit?
She also tried to sing on fucking Eurovision or whatever it was.
That was terrible. I do like the dubstep. Who's into the dubstep, man? That's decent, you know.
That was Goddard.
What's dubstep? Never heard of it.
Nothing. It's just a typo, but it sounds top.
Oh.
And then next question from Blebby: do you think music today is more about image than substance, or more so than ever before? And is this why a lot of today's music feels like it's got no substance?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's about fucking image, innit? I mean, it's always been about image.
I was
Yeah.
going to say that.
But fucking hell, it is literally like a business, isn't it? Like we were saying before, when you buy a car, you don't look at the car now. You just look at the badge and go, "It's an Audi. It's good." Do you know what I mean? It's just the same as the fucking Skoda next to it, which is cheaper. Do you know what I mean? It's as if like they push forward. They've got all this image, but the music is no better than a lot of fucking other commercial shit. There's loads of fucking unsigned stuff out there. People making music at home. Sounds fucking mega. Do you know what I mean?
Like Daniel Bedingfield.
Yeah. Got to get through this. What is
He
it?
made that in his bedroom, innit?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's it's always been about image. Always been about image, but I think
Well, you gotta
the
have
reason
some-
why, definitely. I think the reason why stuff before had substance is because you'd lock yourself in a room with a group of other musicians for hours and you'd come up with a record. Nowadays, it's like, studio time's so expensive. You got like 4 hours to lay a tune down. You're in, you're out, and then it's like, right, master, put it out. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you couldn't write Sergeant Pepper, which took like 700 hours or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't do that.
If you had Sheeran.
Does he spend that much time in the studio?
No, he just rips off tunes, innit? So he
Yeah.
just rip off Sergeant Pepper, he'll write it. Put it
Yeah.
out.
But you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
couldn't
man.
you couldn't write that much substance these days because you don't get the time to do it. Gotta get through
Just doing
this.
Morse
I
code.
gotta get through this.
Tell you what has got substance.
Fucking hell.
That New Order album.
Which one? Substance.
Oh,
Right. I'm gonna put my 2 pence in. Yeah, this is what I think.
Two
I think
penneth.
the problem is that the fucking blueprint's there, innit? So what they want now is like a music by numbers in terms of money. So it's not about taking a chance on stuff anymore. You know what I mean? It's like the fucking music industry wants the identikit model for people to earn the money. Do you understand what I mean? So they're not developing artists anymore. They're just like sticking bits on from other places and making what they want there and then. Do you know what I'm saying? So you don't really get anything that fucking bores its way out of a scene. I mean, even the grime scene, it's like they didn't get any major label interest, and a lot of them had to like make it themselves in order to fucking make a living out of it. And now they all want a piece because they weren't prepared to take a chance on it, even though there was a demonstrable fucking audience there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest stifling thing for music, because it's just like, okay.
I mean, you say that, but that's always happened because what was that band? Really terrible hair metal band, but they were selling out 40,000 seaters and still couldn't get a record label interested. I I can't remember. Is it?
There's something.
The something sisters. What is it again?
Scissor Sisters.
No, not Scissor Sisters, but it's something sisters. I can't remember what it is.
Shakespeare's
Sisters. I can't remember what they were, but they were a hair metal band. I think they're fucking god awful, but they were selling out 40,000 seaters and 20,000 seaters every night. Still couldn't get a record label interested, and then finally one day it came together for them. But it's like, I know what you're saying, and I think you're right. I think no record label is going to take the time and the money to break an artist these days because it costs so much. I think I read earlier today it costs between $500,000 and $3 million to break an artist into the mainstream. If you think like you're going to spend 3 million quid on someone or $3 million, if they flop, that's a lot of money you've invested you ain't going to get back. Do you know what I mean?
I watched a wicked documentary on BBC on music. It was like a while ago. And they were saying that there was a time in music where they were signing bands, like literally before they'd even like played more than like 2 gigs. It was just like you'd play a gig and an A&R person would just come and sign you. And I think there was a time where there was so much money swashing about music, probably around the Britpop era, where it was like probably a lot easier to get some kind of label interest. It didn't guarantee you success, obviously. But I think now as well, the other thing that's killed it a little bit is like a lot of the musicians that seem to make it seem to be coming from like I mean, it's not like I'm living in the gutter or anything, but I don't have like a massive amount of fucking income to spend on music. A lot of these people seem to be coming from like positions of affluence. That's across the board with the arts. I know we've spoke about it before.
Yeah, but we live in a middle class society now, like America has been for the last fucking, well, it was 30 years before us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's middle class with money. Do you know what I mean? Don't you remember looking at? I remember when I was younger looking at bands in America or even people who'd done crime, and you think, God, they come from an all right family. It's because everyone was made middle class. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was able to acquire those things. But I know what you're saying on part of a lot of the artists are missing some sort of edge again. It's going back to that from
but they've got backing though, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like all those things, like think about the conversations we've had with PR people. It's like, all right, we can plug your song on the radio. That sounds great. How much is it? Well, the starting package is $3,000 just to get your song on the radio.
Yeah.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. Think of all the other shit that we've looked at. Man, I just think it's like man, it's just tough, innit? Tough out there for people, but fuck it, it is what it is. I'm sure LL Cool J is well posh, but ladies love Cool J, innit?
Yeah, posh. I need love.
Right, last question before we move on. This comes from Herman.
The German.
Hip hop and punk. For years, genres were a certain way. They both lost their way and have morphed into something not resembling the original form in the slightest. Hip hop is now mumble rap, and punk is American boy bands with guitars. Can you think of any other genres that have morphed out of control? That's the question.
Dance music, electronic music.
I don't. Yeah, but that's a broad spectrum, isn't it? Electronic music.
Exactly. It morphed into good things. It morphed into shit as well. There's still good punk bands. Do you know what I mean? They've got to be out there. There's still great.
Like who?
Well,
are you into
I don't
Idols?
know. No, I like one of their tunes, but I find them a bit shit. If I'm honest, I don't know.
They seem quite well to do. One of them's a dentist.
Yeah, they are quite posh lads, but they've been. To be fair, they've been playing for years. Like they've been in bands for like.
They've been putting in graft in it.
So fair play to them because to put in that much time.
I quite like them. I think they're all right.
Is that why you got your kit off yesterday?
Yeah, to be like them. Yeah, that's why. Get my dick out.
I don't know. It's a difficult question because it's like there are some people that would disagree and say that it hasn't, like hip hop in particular. There's still. I mean, I don't really like modern rap. I don't really like modern punk. But then there's a lot of modern music I don't like. I mean, eventually, if something lasts long enough, it will become a cliche of itself. So you can say it about anything.
For me, modern punk, like Godfrey's just said, it's mostly underground DIY bands, which is cool. And I like that kind of shit. I'm not saying I'm into the music. I think that's a good thing.
same.
Do you know what I mean?
The ethos and everything.
Yeah, and you know, it's just a stepping stone, shit like that. And you can't play that shit all your fucking life if you want to continue
as an artist. Yeah,
as an artist, can you? Because it's just like,
well, you look at the original punks.
So many
You look at like Talking Heads in particular.
Yeah, well, they all got criticised, didn't they? The Clash as well. They all got criticised at the time for changing.
Yeah, but
it's like, you're not a punk anymore. But it's like, fucking well, mate, I need to make some music that's a bit different because it's just
four notes, 2 chords. I've got to do something else.
Do you know what I mean? I do have the repertoire to play 5 chords.
But then mostly,
you know what I mean?
mostly with the Clash though, the Descent was like granted, because most of the stuff that they wrote after the punk era was shit.
There was some good stuff there though.
Yeah,
Lost in the Supermarket.
yeah,
Oh, Carolina's a good tune.
yeah, true.
Isn't it just inevitable that that's going to happen though with a genre? It is just going to go to different places, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is
You know what I'm saying?
once it becomes genre, it opens it up. It opens itself up to so many different
subgenres.
people.
Yeah.
Exactly, it breaks off, and then it becomes something that it shouldn't have been. But you can't you can't keep hold of something like that to make it pure, because otherwise it will die and it'll be shit.
Yeah. If you make some money off what you're doing, say you're a punk band, you get into punk. It's like now they're just, what is it, the record companies that just keep saying we need some more punk, and it's like, surely if
Said no one ever.
yeah, but you want to fucking again, like, evolve, don't you? Do you know what I mean? There's loads of stuff I'd like to do or we could do, but it's just money, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I'd like to do punk hip hop.
Yeah, I'm not saying like that, but just experiment a bit with shit. Do you know what I mean? It'd be great to go and record loads of shit, but it's time as well. Fucking putting, getting the. Do you spend time and come out with one? I mean, it's not a good thing from what we do. We don't put out many tunes. That spend time on one thing, experiment, and put that out, or fucking use your time more efficiently and put loads of tunes out. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think it's a bit different for us though, isn't it? Because we're still trying to find a voice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying, and you're right. There is only so much you can do in the time that we get together, and at the minute, obviously, we've been forced apart, so we can't
Furloughed.
Yeah, we can't do what we need to be doing, and it's difficult. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You might be in some ways more freedom with how it is for us now, because we're not shackled to what a record label wants us to do.
Yeah, we haven't got to put
if that
out.
ever happened,
We haven't got to put out
It's
like 2 albums in 2 years or whatever, and they've got to make loads of money.
I wouldn't mind that though.
Neither would I. I wouldn't mind it either.
Albums it'd be like, sweet, yeah, I've got a bit. Have you been? I'll be like, give us some money then. Yeah,
churn them out and then doing an experimental one and just put it out in the Observer or something. But that's how it goes, though, isn't it? Because it's just like, how many bands have fucking started? They do an album and they start knocking together some demos for the second one, and the record label's like, nah, that ain't gonna fly. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna have to do something else. We want more of this. I mean, it happened to Blur. I've seen it. Their early stuff, the record label were just like, this isn't fucking happening, lads. This is shit. It's not selling any units. You need to come up with something, and then it's all, you know what I mean? There's still an air of credibility there, but they had to go a bit poppier in it in order to sell some records. Yeah, and that's just what happens, innit? So I don't know with the. I think the movement of genres is inevitable, but you always still get the people who just want to be like the classic. So you got still people who maintain that like old school hip hop standard, but you listen to them and in comparison to some people, they start to sound like dinosaurs. They might be mega rappers and everything, but they're still using those. It's only the people that mix the old with the new that seem to stand out in it. Do you know what I mean? So otherwise, you just sound like you just trying to be like too much of a homage to what was before, innit? And that's sad to say, but it's just the way that it goes.
But also there was a reason why at that time that music was successful, because it's of that time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So harking back to something that, it's not exactly a good idea. You should be trying to write for for the current era and whatnot. Should write for the now, not for the then.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll move on. I'll just pose a few questions, yeah? Like, what are your favourite current bands? And your favourite past bands? And how do they compare?
You go first.
Yeah. Who?
You.
Me.
Who? Me or him?
He's
or
going to
you?
ask a question and then answer it himself straight away.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You go.
I'm trying to think. Well, we said Young Knives already. I like some of the Gorillaz new stuff.
Yeah.
I like. I do like the odd slow tie tune.
Yeah, word up.
I like that Working Men's Club that you played. How old's that?
It's a couple of years old. It's not very
That's
new.
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
New.
You see, again, we're going into tracks like fucking that. I would normally say albums.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I suppose that's a product of modern day music releasing or whatever. What else do I like? I don't know. I've heard a few independent tracks when I skip through SoundCloud and that and shit like that. No one I've took note of, but I've got them saved on my computer. A couple of tracks that are unsigned and things like that. Dance music, like kind of rocky electronic kind of shit.
I like I don't know.
Rocky electronic kind of
cool
shit.
as well. I like old. Yeah, you know, old bands, Beatles. There's the.
Uncle were decent because they had different
Yeah.
mixes in there, innit? Because he's a sick DJ, that Tom LaBelle as
Yeah,
well.
I know.
They like brought a lot of different like influences to it. Andy was a skater. Do you know what I mean? He's big in the skating scene, so there was like some mad like little like fucking collective art type shit going on with that. I like that about music when things come together with different stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's like different artistry in there. But I don't know with the new bands. I like the ones that don't sound like the old bands, but they've got a little flavour, a little snifter. You know what I mean? You can just hear like a little, you know what I mean? Like Craig David style flavour in there. Do you know what I mean? They're the best ones because it shows that there's like some kind of like lineage in there, and they often have the sounds that my ears want to listen to, and they're ironically never the biggest bands either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never make it as big as like some of the fucking bands them lot, but they always make the best music. It's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's because they're, like you say, they're writing for that independent, not mainstream, not pop music vibe, which is like the Katy Perry, Britney Spears vibe. And yeah, I agree with you. It's those kind of little bands. Well, I say little bands, but you know what I mean. Those bands that are like Working Men's Club that are outside of that mainstream vibe, but they like sort of tapping on the door. I like that kind of new music. I think that's decent, especially that Teeth tune. It's a wicked tune.
Yeah, it's good.
That
one that
the Working Men's Club. There's a top dance remix of it, but I think again I'm not like slating them or whatever. Yeah, like I'm sure their sound and all that, but I've seen interviews with them and they sound like they come from quite like well-to-do backgrounds, and that I might be completely wrong, but they've all got like mad names.
What are you?
You know what I mean? I am poshest. You know what I mean? Even though I am quite posh at the same time, I just prefer it to have a little bit. What it is this, right? There's an element of culture in the UK that I don't think really is getting represented anymore, and it's like it's like there's no association, for example, with football and bands anymore. Not that I'm saying that it was a good thing, because it does get a little bit too much sometimes, but it's an important link as well to have like fucking a connection with football on the terraces and music and that kind of thing, and then it filters into some of the fashion and all that, and it just doesn't seem to happen like that anymore. I think it's a bit of a shame, because you're just getting like bands that are coming out of art college and just going and getting a pair of Doc Martens and fucking some jeans that go up to the shins and just fucking.
But that happens all
prancing about.
When that's happened, it happens organically, and then it just gets took over by the commercial aspect of things, so it just gets ruined straight away. And nowadays, that's happening quicker than ever. So as soon as anything gets noticed as crossing over to something, It's already put in a fucking pigeonhole. Right, we can fucking snap that off, and we'll do our own fucking thing and make some dosh off that. Do you know
Plus,
what I mean?
it's like, you take football, for instance. It's not the same game as it was 20 years ago.
No, they're all
That's a good point. There probably is an association with it. I mean, every time I go to the Argyle, they're playing new tunes and old tunes, but it's like, it's not the same game as when I was a kid going.
What?
Well,
One of the old
the
ones?
Argyle song's fucking Semper Fidelis, isn't it?
Like the circus.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, because they're playing
sorry.
Euro 96 at the minute, aren't they? On the ITV hub, you can watch every single game. I haven't watched any of them yet, but I probably will. But it's like, I know it's heartbreaking, isn't it, when you think about it?
Southgate.
Bastard. But, it's like, if you look at the music then, there's a close link to it because it was popular culture. But I don't think, as massive as football is, I don't think it's really a massive part of British culture anymore. Do you know what I mean? So,
I know. Yeah.
But music isn't
weird,
either.
Man.
I know.
Think of it like that,
I know, yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
It is massive, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't feel like, when you said that then, it really hit home. It's not like, that's weird. Just can't understand how that could happen.
Yeah, because there's less because people had less things then. Nowadays, you can do anything.
Not only that, though, the heart's gone out of football, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no loyalty in the game anymore, so I don't think people are even, interested in it from because you don't get any career teams anymore, do you? Do you know what I mean? Like, a player comes from an academy and then stays with that club his whole career. That doesn't happen anymore. I think people are just like, especially in the lower leagues, it's like players are there for a year and that's it. They're not even there for the full season half the time. So I think people are just losing touch with it. There's so many. The problem is it's sold worldwide. English football is sold worldwide, and United's a massive club in India and places like that, and it's just like it's lost some of that local team spirit thing.
Look, again, they're all controlled media training, and it's like no one can fucking say anything. Do you know what I mean? Forget the arse over something. They can't say after the game, I thought that guy in the number 9 on the other side was a fucking prick. Or whatever, do you know what I mean? He needs to watch himself. Do you know what I mean? You can't say anything
it's
like
people
that
don't
nowadays.
people don't like to be offended these days. Like, no one ever liked being offended. Don't get me wrong, but it's such a big deal to be offended at the minute that you couldn't say anything controversial. You couldn't do anything that wouldn't please everybody. That's why everything's so.
I'm offended.
There you go. Someone probably would be.
I might complain to.
But that's
YouTube.
what I mean. It's like we're all at the mercy of things like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. That it's like we couldn't do anything or say anything that was like controversial, and we're like small time in comparison with someone like the Arctic Monkeys. I mean, they're not going to do anything that's going to fucking get them slagged off.
Jeopardize.
Exactly. So it's like
shit like
it's
that.
just it's a real shame because, like you say, the controversial artists throughout history, they've always been the most iconic.
Yeah.
Like Bob Marley.
What do you think of Tom Waits? Do you like Tom Waits?
Tom Waits?
I'm not too familiar with him.
Tom Waits.
I think my stepdad might have some of his
Who's
stuff.
Tom Waits?
I don't know.
He was a musician. He was a musician, but he had a bit of an edge to him. I can't really fucking explain who he
Urban's
is.
just asked this.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to go on to that. Go on, you say it.
Do Tom Waits first, and then we'll do it. If you
No, there's nothing to say.
All right.
Fair enough. Move on.
That's what I was
Said,
asking.
do you think a load of new...
Didn't you get the fucking hint?
Is it the ejector button?
Seamless, man. MTV's calling. I swear to God, we're going to have a fucking 10 o'clock show on MTV. Do you think a load of new music will pop up due to COVID-19? People got loads of
That's
time
my hope.
on their hands.
I reckon a load of shit.
My hope is
will,
that...
And
Go
not
on.
so...
Go on.
Yeah. Not overly produced stuff. So it might be better and not so polished, not so good, maybe.
Well,
I know that's kind of an oxymoron.
My hope,
you know what I mean?
my hope is
it
that
though, aren't
2021 is going to be the best year for music because everyone's been locked in, can't go anywhere, can only work on something.
No one's going to hear it. Though.
Yeah, it'll be next year. Yeah, written down a load of ideas.
I mean, imagine, you're like, I don't know, you're at home and you're producing loads of music and everyone else is doing the same thing. It's just all going to come out at the same time. It's like the Sleaford Mods have got a new album out, haven't they?
All that glue.
That's been out for ages, isn't it?
Is it number one?
Shit.
No, it's at number one. Midweek charts.
It's been
all
out
that
for
glue.
ages, isn't it?
Number one in the midweek. The actual.
Yeah, the proper
chart.
charts.
I
Yeah.
don't understand. I don't
Yeah, that's
understand their
crazy.
appeal. I really don't, because I don't.
That's
I don't like this.
mental.
Yeah, both Dua Lipa and fucking.
Fair play to him if that happens for them. I can't, you know what I mean? Can't fucking. I'm not into him anymore in the set. You know what I mean? I thought it was interesting when they first come out, but fair play to him, man. If they
Yeah.
pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I looked at the fucking the views on the YouTube and that, and I thought it looked a bit down on what their views normally are. And I just thought maybe the appeal's starting to wear off. But fucking.
I've just said they're at number one in the midweek chart, so
Yeah,
yeah.
and I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck, no way. Fair play to him, man. I'm
It's
with
the
you.
one- you're on
Cockney, I
about
don't
the
get
one-
it anymore.
Yeah, same. You're on about the one with the pisser on the front cover, yeah?
I don't know. I've just seen one of the music videos where there's two women mimicking them in the pub.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's out of Lord
of the
fucking not
Rings.
Lord of the Rings, fucking Game of Thrones.
Really?
The actress.
I wouldn't know.
You know, you know the one. You know which one it is. It's the one who had the child, and she kept fucking breastfeeding him until he was about fucking 15.
Oh right, the
still.
older girl, yeah.
And they had a big, they had a big hole in there, like
In the castle
in
thing,
there,
yeah.
like,
and they used to.
castle thing.
Make him
yeah.
disappear,
Yeah, and
mummy.
little things
Make
that
him
were-
disappear.
Yeah, that's it.
Make him fly.
That was it, wasn't it?
Make him fly.
They
Yeah,
all
that's
die
it.
at the end. Sean Bean
Yeah.
comes and kills them all.
We've been through that
Yeah.
before that,
Before he
haven't
dies.
we?
I never knew. I didn't think they would do very well with that album.
I didn't know they had a new
fair play to
album.
them.
Out. I saw they
just
had a new
quick
tune
one
out.
Before we move on to the next sort of discussion point, yeah. Who's the most overrated past and present band?
Fucking hell, there's,
It's
Oasis
easy for
has
me,
got to be
yeah.
up.
there's
Oasis,
so many
Oasis.
though. There's so many that you could put in that list. But yeah, for me it's Oasis. I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I just don't understand how people still rate
there's
them,
so
me.
many that you could put on that. Like bands like Razorlight. I still don't know who actually liked Razorlight. Do you know what I mean?
I've got some of that. I think I've got one of their
But it's like,
albums
who
somewhere.
liked that? It was fucking shit.
They don't get played on the radio anymore, do they? Even on like Radio 2
No.
and that.
Yeah.
If you think
Yeah.
that America,
It's the only one I can
yeah,
remember.
massive tune at the time.
America.
It was huge, that tune,
And
man.
the
No
girl
one
with
even plays it.
The girl with the golden
golden
touch.
what?
Was that it? The
Yeah,
The
yeah,
golden
yeah.
what?
The-
She's
Or
got
something
one.
like that. The golden touch.
Yeah,
Not snatch. Touch.
yeah.
Girl with the golden snatch.
Don't think that'd get played on the radio.
Saw the
would
girl with the golden snatch.
it? But that song is.
Doesn't
actually-
rust, man. It stays young
Doesn't
forever.
rust.
that
You know
song,
what I mean?
apparently, that song is about anal sex, though. So you're obviously on the
Really?
right line,
The golden touch. What? is
yeah,
it?
apparently.
Upper arse.
Sure not.
mate. Honestly, I swear to God, my friends were into him when they were big. I was like never into him, innit? 'Cause I was fucking, I don't know, doing other shit. I never really
What about
liked
Kaiser
band
Chiefs?
music. They're
Who
terrible,
likes
man.
Kaiser Chiefs? They always seem to be available as well. Like someone's dropped out at a festival. Kaiser Chiefs are coming. Hey!
Yeah.
What?
They're
Are they
quite big,
though?
though.
And it's
Like-
like,
Well,
Yeah.
mate, the guy does the fucking
Yeah,
voice
but-
or something, doesn't he?
Yeah,
for
but
the
like, does
last
that mean
5
that people
years.
actually like them?
Well, he
like,
did it
what?
though, didn't
Who
he?
goes like,
Yeah.
oh, let's put a tune on? Yeah, let's put some Kaiser Chiefs on. Like, who does that?
I mean, I think you'd probably be surprised. This is what's disparaging about these kind of discussions.
After a night out, get home, like, I want to put, I predict a right
Yeah,
on.
oh, such a
You know that
tune.
one?
Tune, man.
Well, you say that
Yeah.
though, but there's a boxer who has it as his theme tune when he comes out, a Leeds boxer, and it goes off every time. That Josh Warrington has it.
Really?
Yeah.
And fucking, you see all the burly heads fucking singing it. You know what I mean? Like it's some anthem. So they must still be pretty big. Paul Godfrey said they are really good live. Who? Oasis or Kaiser Chiefs or Razorlight? There's on a delay. Fucking,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Please don't say Kaiser Chiefs, Godfrey.
He's got to, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's going to drop Kaiser
please.
Chiefs.
Please don't.
Yeah,
What about
I
the
think it-
Libertines?
yeah.
They're another one.
I never got into him.
I didn't get into them, but I don't would. I know the songs, but I don't think that shit
No,
like the
but I don't
Kaiser
see why
Chiefs.
they're so big.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Saying that though, my mate,
I do like them.
right? He's My mate had to go to
In
a gig.
between us.
My mate had to go to a gig with his missus to see the Libertines, and he was like fucking dreading it. And he was like, "Mate, I kind of liked it." Do you know what I mean? He said it went off there. Do you know what I mean? Proper. So
Yeah, that happened to me when I went to see Kate Nash.
shut up. Fucking went up. God, man.
Went off, man.
Fucking jeez. That's one artist, modern artist, who I fucking hate.
It was mad. It was a
Literally,
mad,
I said
mad
it before.
mosh pit.
When her
You're
voice
on about
comes
someone
on,
else, mate. You're on about
just-
Kate Tempest. But
Oh,
yeah,
I am,
Kate
yeah.
Nash is the one that did that.
Yeah.
Kate Nash is the one that did that song that
Yeah.
fucking "You must eat so many
Yeah,
lemons."
you eat lemons. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just as fucking bad, ain't she? Like
That-
from that.
what
fucking
about,
that
school
London-
of, what's her
yeah,
name?
that-
Lily Allen.
that London
bullshit,
clique that was
fucking
around 20 years ago,
wankers,
whatever
yeah.
it was.
Oh fuck! It makes me sick.
I love it.
Then.
Makes me feel sick.
I
think
like
it's
it
decent.
As well.
Yeah, I thought so.
What about overrated bands presently?
Oh,
Hold on. McGodfrey's just said the Kaiser Chiefs played his work.
really?
Yeah, he works at McDonald's, isn't it? They did a fucking impromptu gig in fucking Leeds
Yeah,
McDonald's.
it just turned up.
Shut up. Did they?
Yeah, just turned up, just fucking banged it out. Everyone was chucking Big Macs everywhere.
Yeah.
They strike me as a kind of band that would
um,
do that, though. To be fair,
Don't know. I don't think fucking they go to McDonald's, do they? What about present bands?
well, there's so many that I think are terrible, but then I'm not of that time. I mean,
What?
look at someone like Wolf
Who-
Alice. Like,
Who were good or bad then? You're saying
Overrated.
Bad. Overrated, sorry, yeah. Kate Tempest.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
overrated
into
for
that.
me. I think I really
Oh
like
my
them,
God.
and I think that they are genuine. But I think they've been grabbed hold of by this like bandwagony like push music thing. Is Black MIDI? I really like Black MIDI, but I think they've been taken over by like people that want to pretend that they're more artistic and more into
Avant-garde.
I just think it's
Yeah.
like I think they've been captured by those wankers,
Yeah.
which is a shame because it's probably made them successful, and that they'll reach more people now. But I
Yeah.
just think that they've been fucking
What, by a bunch
by
of
a bunch of
hipsters?
people that are like, oh, I'm so into
Yeah.
like avant-garde music, darling. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a load of bullshit. But then
Yeah, but they strike me as the kind of people who
maybe,
are like
but
that, though.
Joy Division were like that as well, weren't they? So
They wear like fucking cowboy hats and shit on stage.
well,
It's
they're just
like,
trying to be.
it's not a good look.
No,
by
but they're
anyone,
trying
is
to
it?
be controversial in their little way, aren't they? I think they're a good band. I think they got some good
They're just
ideas.
trying to be fucking hipsters making music.
I think they got some good ideas though. Some fucking wicked tunes.
Mate, I like them. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's the image. I like the music, but once you look past the music, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really into that aspect.
Yeah,
of
but
it,
then you know,
which is kind of like what we're discussing, I guess, on a broader term. I think Wolf Alice are the worst ones for me, and it's not just
Doug's
because
best mate.
fucking, not just because fucking Doug knows the guitarist or whatever. It just winds me up the way people talk about them like they're this fucking mega band. I just think they're the most orchestrated band. It's the same with that 1975s. The shit.
yeah, I agree with you.
They're total crap. I'm not even into that Tame Impala as well. People keep banging on about that.
Have
It's
you heard the
fucking
one that's
boring.
Mike
I haven't
Skinner
heard it
and
yet.
Time Impala track.
I've got a lot of love for Mike Skinner, but I think that's a terrible song.
Oh no, it is, isn't
I'm
it?
not into it. Like, I a proper rate Mike Skinner. I think he's fucking a good advocate for music.
Yeah, same.
Done loads of different things, and he's an artist, and he's an interesting fella. But when I heard that song, I was really disappointed, man. I thought it's just like, I don't know, it's just trying a little bit too hard.
Yeah,
You're ringing up my phone.
I haven't
you know
heard
what
it.
I mean?
so I couldn't comment on that tune.
But
But
saying that, though-
Tame Impala, they're the kind of band that I want to like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I should like something like that,
Yeah, I
but
know what
it's
you're
just
saying.
I
Yeah,
just
I know
I
you-
can't like it. It doesn't sound good to me. It sounds too pretentious and too.
Oh, is Coxie gone?
What? No, I'm here.
Nice, yeah.
Am I
You're
just
still here, mate. No, he's
You've
not.
gone, mate.
He's here.
You've
I
gone.
went. Did I? I think so. I thought I was left on.
No.
And I was like, hello.
You're still there. What was I talking about?
Time
Godfrey's
Impala.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
Tame
like them,
Impala.
but I think they're shit.
What's but the
Oh, go on, then. Go on. You do this bit, and I'll do the comment. Go.
I was gonna say, what's that other band that your missus listens to that's similar to Tame Impala? I think they're better. Yeah, I think they're better.
Who's that?
I rate them, me.
Yeah.
Arcade Fire.
Arcade
I've
Fire.
seen a live set on Glastonbury, and I thought the live set was fucking.
Yeah, I think they were good.
It
I mean,
did,
I've
didn't it?
listened
Yeah.
to some of their albums, and I can't listen to that kind of shit in any context other than if it's on the TV, or there's a couple of tunes that I really like. I'll listen to the tunes like on their own. But when I seen that live set at the Glastonbury, I was like, fucking hell, man, that looks amazing. I'd have a piece of that.
The live production was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good, man. They were giving
Yeah,
it
they're
some
good,
as well.
good live band, definitely. I'm not really listened to a lot of it, but yeah, it's good.
Godfrey said he does the plumbing at McDonald's, and they have big bands on every year. He had Rod Stewart pop in for a Big Mac last year. He said, I don't know if this was at the Kaiser Chiefs, but he said the biggest riot we had was when a load of Liverpool and Everton fans came on the same day. It kicked off big time. We think it was organised. Kaiser Chiefs will do that. They're so shit that people just use the tickets to go up.
To
and
be
have
fair
big
to them, though,
fights,
they
innit?
did predict it, so.
They did predict
Yeah,
it.
I did.
Herman's just said the ant word.
Who?
They're like. He's South African.
Diane Wood.
Yeah, the one where the
Yeah,
woman
yeah.
looks like they're a bit
Kate
freaky.
Moss.
Yeah, they're I'm not really into them, but they're interesting. He's got a great anecdote
Kanye
about when he
West.
met.
Yeah, it's great,
Kanye
that.
West. Man, that's funny. I'll try
Who
and
met
find the video. The guy from The Ant Word
Yeah.
met fucking Kanye West, and he recounts the story, and they've animated it, and it's just the most bizarre thing. He's like ends up in Kanye West's house, and he's like watching porn, and he's like he has a
I think I've
basketball.
seen that.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what? This guy's like, he was like, I didn't even want to be there. I'm only
It's
there.
Kanye
It's
West.
like,
Like.
do you know what I mean? It's Kanye West, and it's like I've slagged him off in the past, and like it was a bit tense at first.
Didn't Kim Kardashian make him like banana pudding or something?
Yeah, she did something weird while he's like watching porn, and he's like, they're playing basketball against
he
Drake.
just
innit?
turned up
And,
as well,
they've
like-
got fucking like NBA players and that on it. It's like, what the fuck? Right, we'll move on. Yeah, we'll move through it. Right, technology. So obviously, modern technology, is it to the advancement or detriment of music?
I think it's an advancement, but in its advancement, it's deterred decent music getting made. Everyone can make it, and everyone should be given the opportunity to make it, but not everyone should actually make music. Do you know what I mean? And I think because anyone can make the most amazing orchestra play from using one keyboard in a bedroom, they shouldn't necessarily do that.
the plus in the last, I would say only in the last couple of years or few years, the plugins that you can get now for synths and stuff like that are sounding truly amazing and like close to the, well, some of them you can't even get a proper fucking hardware because they just don't exist anyway. They're just made up synth. But some of the plugins now are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So as far as that goes, that is a good thing.
We've been playing around with some, haven't we? And the amazing sound you can get out of something that, you know, apart, I mean, they're expensive, some of these plugins, don't get me wrong, but the fact that you could buy that and like a MIDI keyboard that cost 20 quid and do something that Prince couldn't do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so powerful, the software that we're using, even just Logic 5 years ago, whatever, or, you know, Pro Tools is state of the art. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, go on. Sorry, carry on.
You can make it. Well, pretty much finished, but you can make a record on Logic that's from 10 years ago. Yeah, easy, and make it sound professional. Do you know what I mean? Easy.
I think it's to the advancement of everyone. It obviously makes it more accessible, but with that comes like a myriad of other problems, doesn't it? Means that there's more of it out there, and then it's like, how do you get it out? So like the other side of the technology. So in terms of the technology of actually making music, yeah, it makes it more accessible. But then you've got the technology side of the whole weight. It's gone in it with the digitization of everything. And I've only just started getting on the Spotify because I resisted it for so long. But it's just like, you know what? It's just the way that it's gone. And I think you made a good point earlier, Coxie, when you said about how Spotify works and you might like bang a tune for a couple of days or whatever, or an album, and then it's just like you move on then, don't you? Because there's always something new in front of you, whereas before you were like you fucking you get on a vinyl, it's like you might even like save up for a couple of vinyls, innit? It's like I'm gonna rinse this for a bit, you know, until I save up for the next one. It's just not like that. And if you consider as well, for 10 quid a month, I don't even know if it's even that expensive. It's around a tenner a month, innit? You've got unlimited music. Every fucking music you could possibly imagine. Every album, big artists, small artists. 10 quid a month. That's mental.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you put it in that, that's fucking mad. All the music you could possibly want. For a tenner, you couldn't even buy a CD.
And the fact that you can carry it around with you wherever you go, listen to it whenever you want. It's not like you had to carry around a record player. You know what I mean?
Fuck me, mate. I miss carrying my records. I miss the back.
I tell you what,
on the bus there with your record player.
I tell you what, I do miss though is lending records and borrowing records, because I used to find some fucking stuff off that. I used to find. I mean, it was a ball ache when you never got your fucking CD back or whatever.
You never get it back, innit?
You know.
You always forget where's that.
Yeah, true. But I mean, the fact that
I think someone's got my DVD.
I don't think. What I'm saying is I don't think that there's as much weight in someone finding a tune and going, "This tune's wicked. Have a listen to this," as it used to be back in the day when you'd go around someone's house and they'd be like, "Look, I've heard this is fucking sick. You need to listen to this."
Yeah, I remember when my mate used to. I know it's like more of a sub-genre, or it used to be underground. Sorry, sub-genre. When my mate used to come back from the record shop with some dance music to play, do you know what I mean, to DJ with for the next weekend, and he'd buy about 10 records, and you're like, "Oh, that tune is sick." Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Just putting it on, like, I'll put that on again, and like give me a mix, let me have a mix. Do you know what I mean? But you keep putting the intro back 10 times. Mix it in, for fuck's sake! I am. Give us a sec. Keeps going fast, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I remember going into record shops, and it'd be like you go up to the guy and they get to know you, innit? Because they become like
got any jungling guy.
But I heard a tune the other day, and I'm like, you'd have to hum it. Do you know what I mean? It goes like this. Dun, 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 dun. That's Superman. Yeah, the Superman.
Superman 2.
Urban takedown, man. Telling you, what a tune. I've got it on vinyl. But yeah, you have to hum the shit in it, and they'd be like, yeah, it's that one, it's this one. You don't get to do that anymore, man.
Well, one major advantage of all of it, like you're saying, is the fact that you've got everything at your fingertips. But the problem is then, is you've got so much choice, you have to wade through so many deep waters to find a decent tune. It's difficult. It's really difficult. And another thing that's going back to the VSTs and stuff is we were talking about it yesterday. And it's based on what Andy Weatherall said, wasn't it, about finding those little mistakes and going, that sounds great, I'm going to use that for a tune. With these VSTs, it's almost impossible to hit the wrong note to make something sound shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to go a really far distance to make something sound shit these days. When back in the day, it was like you were just fucking around. You were like, "Oh, that sounds all right." Do you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the reasons why music is not as good as it used to be. Is because you haven't got that time to fuck around with stuff. And now that everything sounds great, you have to spend so much time making them sound shit. So
Godfrey's just said this. Amazon Prime gets you TV, movies, music, and free postage for $10 a month. Mate.
Man.
Doug, you've gone really far away.
Have I?
Yeah, that's fair.
What about now?
It's because you mentioned Amazon.
Drifting away.
That's mad.
It is. I didn't know you get that much, because I've got Amazon Prime and I only ever use it like once a year to get like one delivery that I get. So I'm going to listen to some shit now.
I'm not into Amazon, but I have got it.
Don't you use the app as well?
Oh
when you
yeah,
get
yeah. Every
movies?
now and then I do. Yeah.
Coxie?
To be fair,
Yeah.
I didn't realise you get music though.
Hello to the Fern Chronicles.
Did
as well.
the Fern Chronicles, does that mean, if he's still here, this is cool, came here for inspiration, does that mean this is cool, I'm getting some inspiration, or this is cool, use them fucking miserable bastards? In a really
Yeah, this is
sarcastic
cool.
way?
This is cool. Came here for inspiration, you prick.
I've come here because this is shit and it's giving me inspiration to do better.
And I like the way that
Yeah.
Doug
I
wrote,
mean-
all right, friend?
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't mean. I know. I saw. I was like, Fern.
That was weird as well, because we got an email
alright,
today
cool.
from a French band. Did you see it, David?
I did, yeah.
I
I haven't
couldn't
had a
be-
chance to look at it.
Yeah, they're
Wolf
called the
Crew
Wolf
or something.
Street or something. Wolf City. Sorry if I get that wrong and they're listening.
They were like, oh, play our
Is
music
that what
on
they
your
said?
podcast, but it
I couldn't make out what he said in
something
the
like that,
email,
yeah.
but I shall respond to it. Or
I haven't had
Yeah.
a chance to look at it yet, but
But
I'll have a
you're,
look tomorrow. If they're any good, I'll tell you what, if they're any good, we'll play them on
Yeah.
the next podcast. I
think
think
that's
that's fair.
It looks like Fern's disappeared.
Fuck's
Oh,
sake,
for
Fern.
fuck's sake. The Fern Chronicle is. Hey, look, the Fern. I didn't see that. The Fern Chronicles
Ah.
podcast.
Yeah.
So we basically didn't give them any
Either that, or they were like, "I'm gonna make one about
mean,
music," and then
I-
just
I-
fucked off
yeah.
again.
I know. I'll check them out in a minute and get some inspiration.
Speaking
as
of
well.
playing tunes,
Not going to stick around if we keep picking on
Tune.
people, are
I
we?
know. Sorry.
speaking of, hang on,
Right,
before we
here we
carry
go.
on. Speaking
No, no,
about
hang on,
playing
wait. Yep.
tunes, are we gonna play our
I'm
tune?
gonna wait. Yep. No.
Well, shut up, man. Say it.
What?
You
Say
wanted to
got
play a
it.
tune halfway through this week. Shall we play it now? Because I need a piss. Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, we're just going to put
We normally
one of our
play-
tunes on. And that French band, if you're listening, French band, we'll play some of your stuff next week.
If you're any good. I'm sure they're good.
Anyway,
Right, give me a second to set it
Yeah.
up. You talk some stuff. Go on, Damon.
No, we're just going to play some quick tune while we have a quick break. Go for a waz and that, and then we'll be back to have a chat through the other stuff. So this is the Malthusian track,
Check
Past
it.
Lives. Fucking.
Flashing lights through machine, sobriety, easy street, sticky floors, cigarettes, past lives you'd rather forget. Police cars, ripped jeans, anxiety, kings and queens. Last breaks, recollect, past lives you'd rather forget. Flashing lights through machines. Sobriety, easy streets. Sticky floors, cigarettes. Past lives you'd rather forget. Flashing lights through machines. Police cars, ripped dreams. Kids cry, stolen dreams. Flashing lights through machines. Police cars, ripped dreams. Kids cry, stolen dreams. Stolen dreams. Stolen dreams.
And we're back.
And we're back.
That was Past Lives from Culture Test, streaming now on Spotify.
Here's an idea.
Go on.
Yeah. Shall we premiere our new music video on the podcast?
Well, we can't now.
Yeah, not now. Obviously, it's not been fucking made, has it? Yeah,
What, just-
hang fire for the next 24 hours, everyone. We're
Yeah,
just going to
right.
edit it live.
You're teasing it, here. You're teasing it.
Yeah, I'm just getting it out there, innit? Do you know what I mean? No, we could do though, couldn't
Yeah,
we?
I could show some snippets or something.
Bang it on.
Where were we? Where were we?
Right, so
Yeah, wait. Is there any other questions you wanted to do?
yeah, so here's one that's intriguing. Yeah. I think I know the answer to this, right? But would the past greats have stood out in today's saturated market?
In terms of
Yeah, I think a lot of them would.
past greats as in who? Let's have a list. You like a list?
All right, let's go through some. Let's go with I think it's a
Bowie.
yes for me, but Bowie.
Mr. David Bowie. Yes. Yes,
Would he have made it?
definitely. He's such a diverse artist. He was into the LGBT thing.
But maybe, hold on though. I've just had a thought, yeah. There's a lot more retards in the world, or dickheads, right? And maybe they wouldn't have got it.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
But
Do you know what I mean?
But is that a consequence of us having Bowie?
yeah,
though?
I mean, you look
Do you know
at
what I mean?
you look at his first album.
Not that there's.
I don't think his first
Yeah.
album would have.
Yeah,
That's the
what
one
album
with
was that?
Song for Hermione and all that, like the really acoustic stuff. It's more
Yeah.
folky and more out there. But Ziggy, those tunes are great.
Yeah.
And if you look at artists like Will.i.am and stuff like that, and Pharrell Williams, whatever,
William.
they have that persona of that weird artist, don't they? So I think he would have.
Yeah.
But is
Yeah.
anyone going to have that kind of reach these days?
I know.
What about Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix? No, I don't think so. I think he would have. He
I don't
wouldn't have
think
been
he
as
would have
iconic as
either.
he is now.
Yeah, because someone else would have been an iconic guitarist at
Yeah.
some point. I don't
Plus,
know.
the
Do you
only
know what I
reason
mean?
he's so highly regarded is that it was such a breakout, out there kind of sound, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about I don't know, bands that we're into like Stone Roses?
Don't think so.
I don't think they would either.
No. It was a time and a place. But that's how a lot of things go, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. Sorry, I was just looking at a Bowie album that's in my car, Pin-Ups. I really don't like
Pin-Ups.
that album.
What about Cheeky Girls?
Oh yeah, they would
The
have made
cover album. The Cheeky Girls.
Yeah, they're
it.
decent.
Yeah.
Oh, Elvis. is a
Elvis?
good
No,
one.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but that's a time again, isn't it? He was the first. It's kind of all. Everything's all fucking. What's it called when it's.
Yeah, but what if it was
It's all
by modern?
construct-
What if
it's all
Elvis was One
Yeah,
Direction?
yeah.
I mean, he ain't
I
gonna
mean-
come on stage and going.
Oh.
I don't know. Say singing. Today is gonna be the day.
Gonna throw back to you. Come on, baby.
Down, down, you bring me down. These words don't. Do you know what I mean?
Just imagine Elvis doing Changes by Bowie. Change.
I don't even rate
I
Elvis.
Dylan, someone.
Have you listened to his new
I just
tune?
can't get on with Dylan. Mate.
It's
16 minute
fucking god awful, and I love Bob Dylan. It's fucking god awful. He's got a new album coming out apparently.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about 3
probably.
days long.
20 CDs if you
Did
buy
you
an hard
ever?
copy.
Just before we carry on, did you ever listen to his Christmas album?
No.
It's fucking
No.
shit. Honestly, it is the worst. Like, yeah,
Wait,
it's
is it
all
covers?
old songs like fucking "Here Comes Santa Claus," "Here Comes Santa Claus," da, 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 do. But
How can
But he
someone
does
like
it-
that do that without just?
he does
feeling
it in
like a
his
dickhead?
like when he sounds at his most drunkest and like mumbly. He's like, "Here comes Santa Claus, run down Santa Claus Lane," and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Must have
Yeah.
needed some money, man. Now, why would anyone like that do that? Everyone always holds
Because he
like,
can
people
probably.
like that as the like.
He said Godfrey's just said his version of Hurt is mega. No, I think the guy who done Hurt was Johnny Cash, wasn't it? I don't know if maybe Dylan's done one. Johnny Cash's version is.
There's a really
wicked of
good one
Hurt.
by
Have you heard it?
Matey out of 9 Inch Nails, which is fucking wicked. It's really mournful, like fucking, but also it's got like crunchy fucking guitars in it as well. But it's really slow. It's good.
Yeah. Have you heard?
Something
Yeah.
to work out on.
Have you heard the Johnny Cash one of Personal
Yeah, I like it,
Jesus?
actually.
That's fucking class. That's what I mean. He does Hurt as
He
well.
wrote
on
it
that
though,
album,
didn't
and
he?
it
Didn't
sounds
Johnny
mega.
Cash write that tune?
What?
Yeah,
Hurt?
he said he made
Personal
Johnny
Jesus.
Cash.
Hurt.
Yeah.
He wrote it, didn't he?
Yeah. No, that was done by. No, that's 9 Inch Nails. And it.
Yeah, he
Well,
said 9 Inch
The 9
Nails.
Inch Nails one
Yeah.
came out like not too long ago, didn't it?
Yeah, but he was still alive. He weren't last year.
No, the 9 Inch Nails version. I mean, came out. The one I mean, it's electronic.
Maybe it's a
Maybe they've
remix
Might-
of,
It might not
done
be
a
9 Inch
remix,
Nails
yeah.
though. Now that I think of it,
Yeah.
He meant
Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash.
Ehrman said there's an album called Gravelands where an Elvis impersonator does covers of dead artists, Jimi Hendrix, Joy Division, and it's really funny.
Is it? Yeah.
The best cover versions I've heard are Bill
Shatner.
Shatner's covers. They're the best. Like Rocket Man.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
a
I didn't
rock
hear that.
it man. It's brilliant.
The just before I forget, yeah, what do people want us to cover in podcasts in the future? So we've had Ehrman wants us to do something on cults, which is on the horizon for some point. But are there any other subjects or areas you want us to tackle in the future? Because obviously we've done conspiracy theories, we've done crime. Is there anything that you want us to look at that we can do? So we've got some fodder for doing the podcasts in coming months
Yeah.
or whatever.
Let us know.
One last
One
question
last.
from me. Yeah. Should we move on from the past and just fucking embrace modern music and stop moaning about it? Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like, it just struck me. There's a lot of people who are still fucking living in the past, innit? Like you know, like all the people who fucking think the mods and all that, and like fucking Ocean Colour Scene, and that's all they listen to. It's just, surely it's just time to just fuck off the past.
Well, the problem is that music's such a people hold music to such an emotional regard. It's not as easy as like, oh, let's just not listen to it anymore.
I'm not saying not listen to it. Just saying, should we stop fucking whinging about
No.
the past? And now everything's shit. Do you
Yeah,
know
but
what
you
I
could
mean?
say the same thing about painters.
So I'm thinking about just embracing it, yeah, and just going full on
Yeah.
Billie Eilish.
Well, why not?
Well, no, you gotta look at the old. What do you mean looking back at the past? You just said looking back at the past and thinking everything's shit, but it weren't shit though, was it?
No, he means modern music. He
No,
means
that's
modern
not what I
music.
said.
Oh, You meant
I
like
said the opposite.
Well,
Should we
what you
stop
mean?
trying to cling
No,
on
because
to it? Do you know what I mean?
it can come from it can inspire new genius works. I mean, you look at Bob Dylan. He wrote his most iconic songs, from listening to like Woody Guthrie and stuff like that.
Christmas
No,
song.
from like, hobo tunes from the 30s and shit. He was well into that kind of stuff, and so he wrote his, times are going to change or whatever. Times are changing.
I think some of the problems now is you've just said that with Dylan, right? But if he, let's say it was now with the technology he's got now and he did that, he'd get fucking done for copyright.
Well, he didn't rip them off though, did he?
If all those tunes that he inspired on.
I don't know if he ripped them off though.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but there would have been but that's the thing, isn't it? All the music sounds kind of same. It's just what spin you put on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what people forget as well. It's like people, that sounds like this or that sounds like that. People have been doing that forever, man.
I know. Look at back in when reggae. Well, it's been around long before it was commercial. That's all they used to do is get a dub plate with just the fucking music on, and they used to put new lyrics on the same record.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 10 different artists used to have the same fucking instrumental, as you might say.
A toaster on it, innit?
Yeah, yeah, and just put
Not only that,
lyrics down.
You look at Daft
artists.
Punk. I fucking love Daft Punk, but if you listen to their songs, they're all old disco loops, and they've just and literally they just loop it. Their music is loops. There's no like, they just make it original. They make it their own.
So we're saying
put Niall Barkley on it.
The best new music.
Niall Rodgers. I've got something for this one. Got a new tune, mate. We got something else for it. Yeah, hang on.
Old music rehashed.
What are you saying?
Sorry, go on.
The best new music is old
no,
music.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's
no,
what
I'm
you're saying.
not.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying no, I'm not. I'm saying it's up. They did. Daft Punk did.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, there's only a certain number of keys. There's only a certain number of drum loops that are pleasing. There's only certain ways you can sing a song. You know,
minor.
We always start with
What's
E minor, and then
used?
C sharp minor as well is always in there. But it's
maybe that's why the world's getting so fucked up because fucking you've just said there's only a certain amount of, let's say, drum loops or drum rhythms that are pleasing. Yeah. So you have to find new ones. People are saying we need new ones because we've heard that. So you just start creating this fucking weird shit. People's minds just get fucked up.
Yeah, depressing shit like punk.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you say that, but I mean, look at
Do you know what I
Kraftwerk.
mean? It's like a car. We've designed all the pleasing cars in the world. Let's just do a box or like a hexagon car.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I think you're right in certain ways, because the world is probably waiting for the next big musical revolution, but like where does it come from?
Not coming. Robots, maybe.
We've already had robots. We had Kraftwerk and we had Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
robots,
were.
are they?
Look at them.
It's fucking. Well, you can look
That's
at them
Daft
above
Punk.
my head.
Kraftwerk, sorry,
Right.
there.
He just said Kraftwerk. You said we had them. You said Kraftwerk and Daft Punk.
You said they weren't
What you said.
robots. Look at them there. They look like fucking robots to me.
Yeah, they do too. It's sinister, man. Imagine waking up and seeing them in your gaff. Just be like, do what you want.
That is the loop.
Well, Kraftwerk were just fucking originators, though, weren't they? Like fucking. I don't know if there's something like that would happen again. And like I said, unless it was just like robotic music, just a robot manages to come up with something that's just not possible to humans because we can't think that way. But even then, robots are programmed by humans, so everything's been done, hasn't it? So everything's just a version of something that's come before it to a certain degree. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, the thing is it's up to the real artistry in music for me comes from lyrics. So it's up to musicians, bands, even DJs and shit like that to put their own spin on things and to make original music that reaches people and speaks to people. And like you say, I mean, you could try and write. There's no set, like, you know, I said there's only so many scales that are pleasing or whatever. That's only because over the last 50 years or whatever, 60, 70 years, people have been experimenting with different keys and they've just not worked. You know what I mean? Like different string accompaniments, different key accompaniments and stuff. Some of them just don't work, and that's because they're just not pleasing. It doesn't mean they don't exist.
Yeah, going back to the lyric thing, has every combination of words been said in some form or other?
Yeah. I don't know. All I'm saying is jazz.
Nice.
Skip up, skip it up, skip up, skip.
Godfrey said Elon Musk AI music, but do you know he's already released a track, Elon
No.
Musk? He's released an EDM track. Mate, fucking, I swear down on my life, yeah. He's released a fucking dance tune, innit? He's married to fucking that Grimes, that woman, the singer. I've no idea what she does. Fucking, but everyone's always going on about her. Have you ever heard her music?
I think.
Everyone's like, it's some big thing.
I think she's fairly big in the States, isn't she? But I don't really know. I can't remember. I have listened to it.
In the link? You haven't put a link in there?
I have, mate.
No, you haven't.
I have. I'm looking at it now.
Elon Musk already really from Mars.
No. Well,
I can't see it
in my thing. That's weird. Maybe it's
Ghost link.
Yeah, man. It's there because I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'll try it.
Go
again.
for it.
Ready?
Go on.
Is it there now?
No.
No.
That's fucking weird.
Hey, look, even God has said no link there.
That's weird, man. I swear down.
There.
Check this. Check this out.
Is my internet going a bit
you're going
odd?
a bit slow, but it's all right. Why don't you send it to me through the little Skype chat, and I'll see if I can post it.
I've no idea why it's not showing up, the link. It's fucking weird. 'Cause it's showing up on my computer as if it's sent. Yeah, put that on there. Don't play it because it's fucking awful. But yeah, he's already done a tune, man. So Elon Musk already
I want to listen to it. Did that come up?
Like, no.
Mine posted.
Maybe it's... Yeah?
Oh, yeah, there it has, yeah. It's come up now.
Cool. Anyway, what are we talking about? Talk about Elon Musk.
We were just talking about old music and fucking then we got onto Elon Musk, but I don't think there's that much more for us to cover.
Speaking of
on the
Elon Musk,
music.
have you tried to pronounce his kid's name yet?
What's it
I'll
called?
type it to you.
PayPal.
Elon Musk child name. His child's name is...
Starling. Has anyone
I
seen
haven't
the
seen it,
Starlink
actually.
yet? Can't fucking find the thing. Oh, it's going over at this time and that, yeah? Go out in the garden. I can't fucking see it. What? I know we're going to see it because it's going to be up there loads, innit? But wouldn't mind having a look at it.
What?
Skylink.
Summit.
The satellites.
The internet ones. Anyway, I am putting...
Okay.
You can see them.
Yeah.
They're in a big line or something, aren't they?
Not all the time.
I am now typing... I'm typing
like
Elon
that.
Musk's child's name into the chat.
Go on.
Godfrey's seen it. He's probably been fucking beamed up on it.
How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Where is it?
It's in the chat.
Where's the name?
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
off,
his
that's
name.
a name. What the fuck's
Yep.
that?
I'm
How'd you
trying to
pronounce
find
that?
how you pronounce it here.
You do the register, it's E equals MC squared. I'm here, miss. You know what I mean? The fuck is
I
that?
did find how you pronounce
That's
it, but I can't find it
ridiculous.
now. So it's pronounced Kyle, apparently.
What is it? Just some kind
Well,
of weird
it's
writing?
x equals the unknown variable. AE
Oh, God.
is my elven spelling of AI. A-12
Yeah.
equals a precursor to SR-17, his favorite aircraft. And A is Archangel, his favorite song. There you go.
How the fuck does that spell Kyle?
It sounds like Kyle when you pronounce it. It's just stupid, isn't it? It's just pretentious.
What a shit thing for it to sound like. No offense, Kyle, if you're watching, but it's just like you'd think it would be some kind of mad thing, like a fucking some code for something. You know what I mean? It's just like Dave.
Yeah.
Just fucking spell it out then. You know what I mean? Just write it as it is. I'm not sure on Elon Musk, you know. I thought I kind of liked him at first, but the more I see of him, I just think he's a fucking weird knob.
Yeah.
He looks like he's had getting loads of fucking facial surgery.
He does look like an alien, doesn't he? He doesn't look like he's from this world.
People are going on like about him being like the savior of mankind and that. He's just a fucking massive businessman. What, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, of mankind.
What the fuck's he gonna do? Oh, he's done an electric car. So fucking what? Do you know what I mean? He's put a load of fucking satellites into the fucking orbit. You know what? I looked at the statistics. Yeah, by the time he's done, literally within the next 5 years, he will have launched more satellites into space than fucking the entirety of the space program.
Really?
Significantly, yeah. He's got the license to put so many satellites into space. And with the Starlink, a lot of the astronomers or whatever it is astronomers, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're all fucking up in arms about it because they're so bright that they're fucking really obstructs the night sky, and they're all pissed off about it. I want to see it. It does look cool, to be fair, but soon it's just going to get to the point where there's that many of them in space that you're just going to see them all the time. He's going to put thousands of them into space, and they're going to beam down the internet.
How does he get them up
in a
there?
rocket?
Remote control aeroplane.
Fucking drone.
Xbox controller.
Might be something like that. Don't know. Fuck knows, but yeah, he's a fucking.
So what if could I put a satellite in space?
No,
you've got to fucking get permission, haven't you? You got to have a.
What about if I had a little rocket, like a 6-foot rocket, that
little
could
rocket
up there?
You got a 6-foot rocket. I want to put a satellite into space.
He's got his fucking Coca-Cola bottles on the
just
top.
Just like my own personal satellite, about that big. Do you know what I mean? Right, and it's just for my phone.
Yeah, it's just so I can watch the sport. Like,
it's just that's my personal satellite.
God just said he is ditching all his material things, houses, the lot. He's putting all his time into getting to Mars. What he's going to
I
Mars.
watched that Rogan thing that he's talking about, and he says he's ditching all his personal belongings and stuff. But when you really boil down to it, he's just selling old shit. Because like he even says like I'm not getting rid of any essential things. So it's not like the big headline that people were saying. Like, oh, Elon Musk is like selling all of his stuff and it's the end of the world and all this shit.
Does he need to sell all his stuff?
Yeah. What about his house? So he's
going to keep one of his houses. He has several apparently.
Yeah, but he's going to keep all his money.
So basically he's selling it all. He's going to make more money.
Yeah. I'm only living in this one house now, guys. It's only worth.
Did you see that?
Keeping all his money.
What's the obsession with all this going to Mars and shit?
Yeah, he wants to. Yeah, he wants to explore,
Mars,
I suppose.
Yeah, no, but why can't? Like, what does everyone think we're going to do? Just all fuck off to Mars and live on Mars? Don't look that great for me.
I don't know if it's about living on Mars. It's what we can find there, and it might help life on Earth.
What?
I don't know.
What's it going to help with? What? Some more resources we can go and fucking fuck up and have a big fucking argument.
Well, what happened to all those fucking asteroids they were going to mine and shit a couple of years ago?
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Is that what they said?
Yeah,
it was all over the news. There was loads of people that were like, we should be mining asteroids and stuff. And then there was like, because Donald Trump set up that Space Force, didn't he?
Yeah,
so they were like, what are you going to do? And it would be like planting a flag in an asteroid. And it's like, now we can mine this and no one else can mine it.
Yeah, apart from the aliens.
How are they going to get it back?
What the fuck's this rag on my rock?
Are they just going to have like a massive tube going from there to Earth?
Yeah, it's travelling however many 1,000 miles per hour through space. It's like,
Can you imagine that though? It's just like the Americans go and fucking stick a fucking bit of like fucking painted toilet paper on a fucking planet or a rock somewhere, and there's some advanced life force, and they're just like, what the fuck are these ants doing here? Just, you know what I mean? Fucking, this is ours now. Like, the thing with the Mars thing is, They did that thing years ago, didn't they? Where they were like, "Oh, we're looking for people to go on a mission to Mars, but you might not. We don't know if we can even get you back.
Yeah, it was
Who's up for it?
It's a one-way ticket, wasn't it? They've
There's
already
people
signed
like
loads of
that.
people up, haven't they?
Yeah, one-way ticket to Mars. Who the fuck would do
Wow.
that? Got to be
think-
off your noodle.
I think we should pick people in particular to get on it.
What if they said
know what I mean?
you've got to go? What if they said Doug Bishop's got to go? What we need?
Jesus, I ain't getting on no plane.
no, I'll be like, nah, I'll
Nah,
pick someone.
just pick someone else.
Like-
I'll let you down. I'll let you down if you pick me.
Drink some milk.
I'm not very
yeah,
good.
fucking
I'm
Mars
shit
plane,
at
innit?
things. I'm shit at things.
I think people who do that, who signed up to that, are just like, if you're that desperate to do that, you might as well just, I don't know, just fucking commit suicide or something. It can't be that great, innit? Just knowing that you're gonna fucking have some weird death.
Yeah, but it's
flying
not.
in
It's the
space.
point of being like one of the pioneers, isn't it? One of the first people there, and you'll build the colony. And I can.
Not calling it. Ain't
Well, that's
building
what the
shit,
intention
bro.
is, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's got to be people who would go there and get there, and like after a 6
I wanna
months,
go
be
home.
like, man,
Yeah.
I've made a mistake.
That's it, isn't it? You're fucked.
know.
You
I
are
don't know.
fucked if you get
I
there.
mean, what's
Thing
happening
is,
in
what if they get
Narcos?
there and they're all set up and they're all willing to go, and then Alien happens? Do you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah, I know,
fuck!
yeah.
I chose to come here. I volunteered. This is bullshit.
I just don't know why anyone would want to do
No,
that.
do I?
really
Definitely
don't.
not the first one. Do you know what I mean? Like, definitely not the first people to go. You'd never be able to grow any
I
food.
don't
You
even
wouldn't
know
be able
if
to do
it'd go on a pleasure space thing. You know what I mean? It just looks too risky. I don't even like flying to France, man. I
Yeah,
ain't
there's
going up
that,
into
isn't
space on fucking some Richard Branson fucking airline. It's just like, you know what? I'm not really. If you can guarantee I'm not going to die, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 100%. No, fuck it. It's just like, I'd do it, but.
What, like the
Just
Titanic?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. Didn't happen, though.
No, it wasn't the Titanic. It was the Olympiad or whatever.
Switched everything around. Although
Yeah.
Herman did post a good retraction video for that. I watched it. It couldn't have been. It didn't happen.
Did he? What? What
He
didn't happen?
posted
Bollocks.
it to me privately. It just fucking completely.
I'm calling
blows it out
bollocks.
the water. No,
Calling
pun intended.
bollocks.
But yeah, Godfrey to go up into space. Yeah, you're always a bit of a mad bastard, Godfrey. So fair play, but I'm not really into it. Just think, you know what? Yeah, there's enough intelligence supposedly on Earth to just get things right here. So why do we have to fucking go and fly to Mars? What we're gonna do? Just go and fucking have a big war on Mars with each other as well.
But that's
It's
what we
just
do, though,
pointless,
isn't it?
innit?
We explore and
Oh,
whatnot.
internet. Oh,
Yeah, well, fuck it. You know,
Ah, fuck it.
fucking
Can't be
just-
bothered.
I'm happy just fucking listening to my modern music at home, Billie Eilish, watching fucking SAFU Bears wins in it. So
Fuck it.
I'll stay here with fucking Tony Bellew.
Have we got? Is there any other musicy questions we've got?
I think
Well,
we're
we
done,
went off on a bit of a tangent then, didn't we?
No, I haven't got. I haven't got anything left unless
I
you
think-
have got anything.
I think we've
I've
said
asked
what
all.
we were
Yeah.
going to say, haven't we, really?
Yeah.
So there's
Has anyone
someone.
in the? Oh yeah, no one in the chat's got anything.
Now, like, this is your last chance to ask us some questions on tonight's subject, and also to let us know what you want us to talk about in future, because we're going to wrap it up in a minute. But while people do that, because of the delay, we might as well let people know to buy the t-shirts at the merchandise at the link.
Yeah.
See if
Oh
you
yeah.
can
It'll
now.
be in the description in a
If
bit.
you haven't
If
already.
it's not there already, it might be there already.
Yeah, the t-shirts. We've had quite a few people buy them already, so there's people buying them. So
Yeah.
that's decent. So yeah, if you haven't got one, get one now. They look decent. They look good. And then look out for our new. Do you think we'll ever make it?
What, to Mars?
Don't know. One-way ticket, innit?
What, are we going to answer that one seriously?
Don't know. It depends on your version of making it. I'd be quite happy getting to the level of Sleaford Mods if the opportunity arose. #1 album midweek charts.
Be alright, wouldn't it?
You know what I mean? After slagging him off before.
I'm aiming higher, but I don't mind going lower than that.
Well, why? What level are you aiming for?
I'm aiming for if I could clear £1,000 a week after a year. Do you know what I mean? I'd be happy with that.
I'd be happy
52
with.
grand a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't
Do you
mind
know
that.
what I mean? And I wouldn't pay any tax.
I wouldn't pay tax. So fuck that. This is
Fuck
gonna.
that.
Imagine if we did make it, and then one day some journalist finds that
Yeah, I know.
he promised he wasn't ever going to pay tax,
Yeah.
and he was telling the truth.
Gary
Yeah.
Barlow over there. Would you sell out and make pop? If it was good
Yeah,
pop,
I'm not against writing pop music as long as it's not Britney Spears style pop. I think every musician wants to write pop
Yeah,
music.
bit of that.
Every musician wants their music to be popular. Do you know what I mean? You want people to like it.
Yeah, sorry. Paul just said, God has just said that's 150 grand between us.
yeah.
That'll do.
Take that.
Take that, yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take 800 a week. Okay, I'll take 800
I'll take 20
a week.
quid. I'll do it for
Do you know
free.
what I
Fuck
mean?
it, it's fine.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because
I'd like to earn a bit more
because
than
the thing
52
is-
grand a year.
Well, yeah, obviously.
yeah, but the thing is, with doing that, there's others. You could do other things as well, wouldn't you? You would have time
I'd have a
do-
yeah,
radio
that's what
show.
I mean. I mean,
with 6 people watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them are us.
Would we go on X
No.
Factor? Are you fucking
No.
mad? No way,
No,
man.
not at all.
Not even on the principle. It's just like there'd be
Yeah,
no point.
yeah.
It's- I don't think Simon Cowell's on the lookout for fucking 3 lads who spend the Monday nights fucking slagging people off and swearing in front of fucking people. You know what I mean? It just would go down like a
Yeah, it
lead
wouldn't
balloon,
work.
innit? Your mate did it anyway, Godfrey. How did it work out for her? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure she did all right out of it, but I'm guessing there were bits of it that fucking she didn't like. So, don't know. Maybe it's not all cracked up. What it's cracked up to being that. Would you take that and party fucking all day long? Say they did a cool talent show.
They've
would you
tried
do
though, haven't
that?
they? They've tried so
No.
many different ones. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Can't think of one talent show
It
that's
just
ever been
ends up-
deemed cool.
It wouldn't, even if they couldn't do that, even if they wanted, because someone would come in and start
Yeah.
orchestrating it, wouldn't they? As you know,
Yeah.
Foxy, from doing the reality stuff.
It's
it
all
just
set
gets
up anyway.
in the end, because
Like you got to be a fool to think
Yeah.
that X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, any of those shows aren't set up. They're on TV for fuck's sake. You're going to tell me that a TV production
I
company is
know.
going to put fuckloads of money into it, hoping that something interesting happens?
But
yeah,
on a whim,
something might
on a
happen.
whim,
So let's do
yeah.
it.
Open a prayer, yeah. We'll
It
put a
didn't
bit
work
of
like
hope
that.
in this one. See? Yeah, it's fuck.
If you
Yeah.
could do a TV show, though, what would you do?
So hold on. I want to go back
Tomorrow's
to. So
World.
if someone said 800 quid a week, right, for you, Damon, you'd be like, nah, I'm stopping at the Clay Factory. Do you know what I mean?
but it wouldn't be. The thing is that you got to remember as well, though, you got to have some kind of long-term plan because you're not going to earn that forever, are you?
Yeah, I know, but
So it's
fucking-
not. I'd rather earn more money than that, and I'm sure they do. I don't think. I think the Sleaford mods are probably on more than 800 quid a week.
Well, if
aren't
they've
they?
got
Yeah, but it's what you do with that money, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And what the spare time that it creates for you to do other things. Do
I
you know
think
what
the
mean?
main thing is having a body of work that we can be proud of, that people love. That's what I'm really into.
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
6 of them.
No, but you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
there'd be no greater thrill than playing Glastonbury Pyramid Stage.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're at that stage, then you're earning
I'd love
all
to
right money
play
anyway,
Glastonbury,
so
man.
it's all right. Like
Like play the John Peel stage as well,
yeah,
and that.
that's
that'd
what I
be
mean.
decent.
Like I just take baby steps and get to the point where we're knocking on the door of 800 quid a week. That would be quite handy and quite tasty. And then
Yeah, because you'd be able to put time and effort into something.
well,
you know,
I mean, you'd be laughing if you're
even
earning
more.
800 quid a week doing what we do.
yeah.
Let's face it, it's not like we'll be laying bricks.
Yeah, I know.
Do
Fucking
shit
easy,
in bricks.
Yeah,
easy money.
money for nothing and the chicks for free.
But I think
Yeah.
that's it. I think that's all we've got to say
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So wrap it up, shall we? Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 800 is a good wage. Paul's just said. Yeah, it is. Sorry,
Yeah, it's more than I'm on anyway. Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, and we won't go. Have you got a job yet?
You keep asking the same question and you keep getting the same response, which is,
No. All right. We'll wrap it up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one for listening.
Nice one.
Yeah, nice one. Well,
Put the link up for the t-shirt.
Cheers to everyone that's bought a t-shirt.
I'll do it in a
It
sec.
does mean a lot to us, honestly. Not just because we get a couple of quid, but it's just nice to see a bit of interaction with yourselves. That's not just through a podcast.
And then we'll be in touch. Don't call us.
Nice one. Well, we've got the new music video coming out very soon as well. So there's going to be a new tune, a new music video soon. Haven't got a date yet, but we'll keep you updated. And also let us know what you want us to talk about in the podcast and whatnot, and we will endeavour to do that. And also, thanks to everyone that sent footage in. I don't think we've said it this week. So yeah, cheers for that. Don't be offended if your video doesn't get into the final thing. It's not that any of it is terrible. It's just that we've got so fucking much of it now. I've got over a couple hours of footage that are all like 10-second clips. So it's a marathon going through all of that as it is. So we've only got like a 5-minute tune. I can't put 2 hours into 5 minutes as much as I might try.
Godfrey said, "Where's his t-shirt?" I've fucking cancelled the order because you said you like the Kaiser Chiefs. And on that note, we'll
nice one. We haven't got a tune.
You haven't put the link up?
We'll do it.
I've just done it now.
I'll put it in this.
Not up, mate.
I'll put it in the description of this video in about 10 minutes or so. So check back then. If not, Damon, throw one up on the Facebook page and you'll be able to find it. Don't worry. If not, message us on Facebook. We'll send it to you on there. Or, just Twitter or whatever.
Oh, on the.
All right, he sent me a link for it here. I'll put it in now, and then I'll put. Oh, I can't do it now because it's got some weird link thing. But I'll do it in a minute when the podcast ends. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. It'll be there. Right, we haven't got a tune playing us out this week because we played it halfway through, obviously. But if you want to check us out, go listen to us on Spotify or Apple Music or any of those. It's all over there. We got YouTube as well. We got the music videos. So if you go to our channel now, you can watch the music videos and whatnot. And it honestly does mean a lot when people do listen and check us out. And it's a great way to support us as well because we do get little tiny bits of money from Spotify and stuff like that. So cheers to everyone that does take the time.
Yeah. No, it's much appreciated. Definitely.
And we'll keep writing new tunes, and we've got mic going everywhere. We've got new tunes coming every time we sit down and write, so stay tuned.
Yes. Indeed.
Nice one.
Okay.
See you later.
Nice one.
Cheers.
Ta-da.
You've been listening to Through the Trapdoor podcast with the Malthusian Trap. Now go find us on social media. Join the mailing list at malthusiantrap.co.uk and don't forget to tell your mum.